Okay, let me ask you something. What if I told you that just one single word could completely change how you think about success? Seriously. Today, we're going to dig into this powerful idea inspired by motivational speaker Sonu Sharma to find that word. This could be a total game changer, so let's jump right in. So what's the word? It all boils down to this: focus. And look, this isn't some fluffy suggestion. This is the bedrock, the absolute cornerstone of getting anything meaningful done. We're going to break down exactly why this one little word is so unbelievably powerful. You're going to want to stick around for this. All right, so what's the big secret here? You might think focus is for, I don't know, superhumans or something, but it's not. The secret is that there is no secret. It's a simple, powerful tool that every single one of us can use. It's how regular people, you and me, can get some pretty incredible stuff done.
Okay, think about it like this. Remember playing with a magnifying glass as a kid? The sun's rays are all over the place, right? They're warm, sure, but they're not exactly powerful. But then, you take that magnifying glass, you concentrate all that light onto one tiny little dot, and suddenly, poof, you can start a fire. Well, your energy, your talent, all your effort, it's exactly the same. When it's scattered all over the place, it's weak. But when you focus it, man, it becomes unstoppable.
And that's the key right there. This is why success isn't just for the geniuses or the super talented people. The real winners, the real warriors out there, are just average people who have mastered this one skill: laser-like focus. It's not about how much talent or energy you've got in the tank. It's all about where you point it.
But what happens when we don't focus? When our energy is scattered everywhere? Well, there's a real danger there. And to see just how bad it can get, let's talk about this classic story of a hunter who made one fatal mistake.
So, picture this guy, right? A hunter. He goes out into the woods. He's ready. First thing he sees, a rabbit. Perfect. He lines up his shot. But wait, out of the corner of his eye, he spots a deer. Ooh, a deer is way better than a rabbit, he thinks. So he ditches the rabbit and starts going after the deer. But then, get this, a massive stag appears. Even better. So he drops the deer, and now he's chasing the stag. He spends the whole day running around, and by the time the sun goes down, everything's gone. He walks home completely empty-handed.
And here's the kicker. The hunter gets home, throws his stuff down, and blames everything else. Ugh, my luck is just the worst. What a terrible day. But hang on a second. Was it really bad luck? Or was it that he just couldn't stick to one thing? I mean, he had a rabbit, a deer, and a stag right there. 3 perfect chances. But because he tried to chase all of them, he ended up with nothing. See, the problem wasn't fate or bad luck. It was all him. It was his constantly shifting focus.
Okay, so this story leads us to the most important question of all. If being unfocused is the problem, then what's the solution? How do we actually get that laser-like focus we've been talking about? Well, here's the twist. Focus isn't something you can just summon out of thin air. It doesn't work like that. It's actually the result of something way more powerful. Let's be real for a second. Do you ever have those days where you feel like you just can't focus on anything? Your brain is just everywhere at once. We all do. But what if I told you we're all looking at the problem completely wrong? Because here's the real issue. The problem isn't that you're bad at achieving your goals. The problem is you probably don't have a single, crystal clear, I have to do this kind of goal. Think about it. If you don't have a destination plugged into your GPS, you're just driving around aimlessly, right? Focus needs a target. Without that one target, your energy just scatters. You become the hunter.
So to really drive this home, let's look at someone who absolutely embodied this idea of having one single goal. I'm talking about a true legend, the Indian runner Milkha Singh, famously known as the Flying Sikh. His story is just incredible. And his life gives us this amazing, practical, 4-part formula. It shows us exactly how having that one goal can light a fire under you and give you that unstoppable drive. And this isn't just some motivational fluff. These are real lessons, forged in pure grit, that you can literally apply to your own life. So lesson 1 is this: let your goal pull you. Find something you want so badly it just drags you forward. For Milkha, it started super small. When he was a young army recruit, he ran like his life depended on it, all for an extra glass of milk. That was his goal. Then it got bigger. He wanted to wear that official India team jacket. That image, that jacket, pulled him through insane training sessions. Then the goal got even bigger: break the 45.9-second world record. And finally, he had a goal so audacious it sounds crazy. He wanted to become so famous that the government would declare a national holiday in his name. See how each goal was like a magnet just pulling him forward? All right, lesson 2. Use your goal like a shield to block out distractions. There's this story where, early in his career, he got distracted by some women the night before a big race, and he ran horribly. He was so mad at himself, he promised it would never happen again. Fast forward a bit. He's faced with the exact same situation, a potential distraction, but this time, his response was totally different. Why? Because his goal was crystal clear. He just politely said, "Ma'am, the problem isn't you, it's me. My goal is clear." That's it. When your goal is that clear, it makes saying no to distractions so much easier.
Okay, now for lesson 3. This is about what to do when people try to get in your head. Just before this huge high-stakes race in Pakistan, his rival's coach walks up to him and says this, a clear attempt to psych him out, to make him doubt everything.
Now, think about that. Most people would just fold under that kind of pressure, right? But someone with a powerful goal does the exact opposite. They take all that negativity, all that trash talk, and they turn it into rocket fuel. Milkha didn't just run that race. He ran like he was on a mission. He used those words to push him harder. And guess what? He won. That's what happens when your goal is bigger than any insult anyone can throw at you.
And the final lesson. Lesson 4 might be the most intense one of all. You have to keep raising your own standards. There's this incredible scene in the movie about his life where, after a brutal training run, he takes off his shirt and wrings out enough sweat to fill up a mug. A whole mug! But for him, that wasn't enough. He decided that a mug wasn't the standard anymore. He trained even harder, pushed himself past his limits, until after a later session, he could wring out enough sweat to fill an entire bucket. The point is, to get to a huge goal, you can't just do what you've always done. You have to demand more from yourself. So, let's put it all together. We saw the magnifying glass, how focus creates power. We saw the hunter, how a lack of focus leads to nothing. And we just saw the Milkha Singh formula, how one single goal can create an unstoppable force. So now, what about you?
And this is really the only question that matters right now. Not what are your goals, plural. No, what is your one goal? What's the one thing that's going to pull you forward? The one thing that will act as your shield against all the noise? The one thing that will make you raise your own standards? What is that one thing you are going to aim your magnifying glass at?
So we get it backwards most of the time. We wait for motivation to show up before we pick a goal. It doesn't work that way. You find the goal, and that's what creates the motivation. That's the whole secret. So remember the formula. Find a goal that pulls you. Use it as a shield. Turn negativity into fuel and raise your standard. Your job right now isn't to get it done by tomorrow. Your job is just to decide, to define that one single target,